Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. The 4 years of Donald Trump's presidency, we saw nothing but leak after leak, all kinds of supposed sources, anonymous sources, sources close to the White House, sources with knowledge of the Trump campaign. The media was constantly presenting sources as credible. This is the next story that's going to take Donald Trump down this time. Yet each and every single time, the information was salacious and the sources were anything but credible. I mean, just to put it into perspective, even today, it seems like the only witness they have left is Michael Cohen. Again, anything but credible, a convicted felon with a clear vendetta to go after Donald Trump. In other words, Democrats have nothing and Democrats have no one. A 4-year-long and, well, actually at this point, an almost 7-year-long wild goose chase. A foolish, hopeless pursuit. And I'm saying all this to really build that contrast. They never had anyone credible, yet it was nothing, non-stop, endless, bogus reporting for years. Now, involving the Bidens, involving the Biden crime family, it's nothing but credible witnesses. And what are the Democrats doing? What's the Democrat mainstream media doing? Playing defense for the Bidens. In fact, CNN and MSNBC, from my understanding, aren't even televising the hearings as another whistleblower comes public, pointing the finger at corruption within the system involving the Bidens, one of the biggest corruption scandals in American history, and CNN viewers, MSNBC viewers don't even know that it exists. Folks, let's focus on the facts. Let's take a look at what happened at the hearing. Let's continue to expose this hypocrisy. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so let's really focus on what I was mentioning in the intro, the contrast. Let's have a conversation about a credible witness. The second IRS whistleblower has been identified as Joseph Ziegler, and guess what? He's a Democrat. Democrat Hunter Biden whistleblower Joseph Ziegler comes forward. IRS whistleblower Joseph Ziegler stepped forward Wednesday as the second whistleblower alleging a cover-up in the criminal investigation of President Biden's son Hunter, calling himself a Democrat who, quote, wanted to do what was right.
Today, I sit here before you not as a hero or a victim, but as a whistleblower compelled to disclose the truth. That said, in coming forward, I believe I'm risking my career, my reputation, and my casework outside of the investigation we are here to discuss. I ultimately made the decision to come forward after what I believe were multiple attempts at blowing the whistle in the Internal Revenue Service, at the Internal Revenue Service. No one should be above the law, regardless of your political affiliation. Mr. Chairman, while my written statement as well as my testimony before the Ways and Means Committee, I would like to touch on briefly 7 specific matters. First, in a recent letter to Congress, Mr. Weiss stated that he had been granted ultimate authority over this matter, but then later stated in the same letter that his charging authority is geographically limited and that he would need a President Biden-appointed U.S. attorney to partner with him in charging the case. Mr. Weiss stated that he was making all decisions necessary to preserve the integrity of the prosecution consistent with federal law, the principles of federal prosecution, and departmental regulations. In the Criminal Tax Manual, Chapter 10, found on the DOJ website, Tax Division policy states that cases involving individuals who fail to file tax returns or pay a tax, but who also commit acts of evasion or obstruction should be charged as felonies to avoid inequitable treatment.
We're compiling a list at this point. The media has spent so much time and energy focused on so much totally uncredible nonsense, but when you have actual credible witnesses and whistleblowers coming forward, they are nowhere to be seen. It's despicable. This man, once again, just like Mr. Shapley or Mr. Shapley, along with the new FBI whistleblower who still hasn't revealed himself, all have so much to lose. Their careers, their reputation, their safety, and here they are risking it all, only to be demonized and discredited by these despicable, dishonest Democrats. And it's not just those in the media, it's the Democrats who were present during the hearing as well. Whistleblower X, he's a Democrat. He's part of their political party, and he's pointing his finger at clear corruption, and Democrat after Democrat after Democrat show themselves to be shills rather than honest actors, one after another.
And yet we are doing this all over again for the Hunter Biden show to someone who has pleaded guilty and has taken responsibility for not filing taxes for 2 years. This is ludicrous. Beam me up, Scotty. There's no intelligent life down here. None. I yield.
We heard a lot about the Bidens, the Biden family, Biden associates, right? Bidens, plural, the S, what does the apostrophe mean? But not Joe Biden. Didn't hear a lot about Joe Biden. Why? Because he didn't do anything. This has nothing to do with him.
And if they weren't leaping to the defense of Joe and Hunter Biden, what were they doing? Playing a game of distraction.
Respect for the independence of the Justice Department stands in sharp contrast to Trump's spectacular disrespect for the rule of law and his serial efforts, both in office and outside office, to get prosecutors to go after and lock up his political rivals and to suspend accountability in specific criminal cases when it comes to his friends.
Do you know the rate at which black taxpayers are audited as compared to taxpayers who are not black?
No, I don't know.
Well, the answer is black taxpayers are audited at 2.9 to 4.7 times the rate of non-black taxpayers. Another question for you, sir. Yes or no? Will this hearing help alleviate the racial disparity in the rates of the IRS audits? No.
That's not the topic.
Thank you. And with that,
Jamie Raskin comes in during a hearing about Hunter Biden and just goes on and on about Michael Flynn and Donald Trump. Democrat Representative Brown goes on a tangent of Lord knows what. These people are not only dishonest, but of course they're fundamentally unserious. As is expected, they're the most dishonest crew you'll ever find, and the Democrat establishment, at least as we know it, is, as we've observed, deathly allergic to the concept of accountability and truth and many other concepts, but you get the point. No wonder we never hear from actual credible witnesses, because this is what happens. This is the Democrat response, or the mainstream media response, which is total silence, blindfolders on. They only give attention to attention-seeking, clout-chasing, salacious information-pushing partisan goons. Someone like Michael Avenatti is helping his client pursue legal action against Donald Trump, and they gave him a platform for years. For Pete's sakes, CNN pushed him as a possible Democrat candidate for president before Joe Biden took center stage. He gets the spotlight. In fact, they'll give him the spotlight for as long as he wants to speak, for as long as he's willing to do their bidding to promote their narrative. But when you have someone credible alleging this...
Why did you want to interview Hunter Biden's adult children?
So a lot of the business deductions, expenses related to the adult children.
Did you get the approvals?
So we never received the approvals to talk to those people.
What did the assistant U.S. attorney tell you?
That's going to get us into hot water.
Is that in the IRS handbook, avoiding hot water?
No, but I mean, I was asking to do these certain things, and roadblock after roadblock was put up in front of me.
Also confirming that the Biden crime family received $17 million from Romania, China, and other foreign countries between 2014 and 2019.
I want to discuss with you specific payments made to Hunter Biden and the Biden family. Democrats and the left-wing media are also saying there's no evidence. Well, let's get into the evidence, Mr. Ziegler. I want to direct you to pages 99 and 100 of your transcript. How much money did Hunter Biden and his associates receive from the Romanian company you identified?
So that amount would be from Romania. So the approximate total transfers from the Romania company would have been $3.1 million to everyone.
$3.1 million. How much did Hunter Biden and his business associates receive from State Energy HK Limited through the Robinson Walker LLC?
So total transfers from State Energy HK to Rob Walker was $3 million.
$3 million. Was there a $100,000 payment from CEFC Infrastructure to Owasco PC, Hunter Biden's professional corporation?
Yes, Chairman.
For doing what exactly? Still absolutely nobody knows. What did the Bidens do? Nothing. Hunter Biden has no skills, provides no services. He's a lawyer by education and trade, but I've never seen him win a major case or represent a high-profile client. What did they do? What did they provide to make $17 million, and that's just what we know of, from foreign entities in a span of 5 years? Well, just don't ask questions. Of course not. And when these IRS agents tried to investigate because clearly something was fishy, they were held back. The mainstream media says, well, Prosecutor Weiss already clarified that Merrick Garland gave him the absolute authority. Case closed, finished, drop the topic. You simply shouldn't. Clearly, if these individuals are willing to risk their career and are willing to continue testifying that Merrick Garland and Prosecutor Weiss are lying, maybe there's some merit to it. If they're willing to go on the record under oath and testify it on the floor in Congress, then maybe we should see at least a basic bare minimum level of, I don't know, journalistic integrity and curiosity. No, of course, none of it. Because they know it's bad. They know they're full of you-know-what. And most importantly, they know that these whistleblowers, these witnesses, are credible. And that right there is something they hate. It's something that they can't stand, especially when it doesn't fit their narrative, because they lose control of the narrative. And clearly, it threatens to damage their political rhetoric and narratives that they rely on to remain in power. I'm going to finish off by saying keep the heat on. The DOJ, the FBI, the IRS won't do their job. The mainstream media certainly won't do their job. Well, someone's got to do it, because the alternative reality is simply unacceptable. A precedent cannot be set that Democrats can simply get away with felonies, get away with selling the White House to the highest foreign bidder, and everything else that Hunter Biden is guilty of. That simply cannot be the reality, and it's clearly something that is worthy of fighting against. That's pretty much what I got. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.